throughout the day. Um, Something has been sort of plaguing me. Not really plaguing. That's annoying. Did you hear that? Okay, no, you don't, because it stops just when I say, "Do you hear that?" Anyway, something I don't know. It's been plaguing my mind. It's like I don't know. I get like quite brought down by like silly things. I think, or just like things that aren't that important. And sometimes I put a lot of pressure on myself or a lot of weight in things that are quite fickle or don't have a lot of real importance or really don't mean much. And I think it's something I gotta work on, but it's just one of these things where, like, I don't know, even though I feel better about this silly little situation now, and it's so silly when I'm gonna say it out loud. Um, I don't know, I just need to, I think just putting it out in some, I was gonna write it down, but I thought, why not do this instead? Um, yeah, anyway. So, I went to go see this film, Queen of Glory, amazing film, and it was at the Glasgow Film Theatre, and they had an actual director with an actual Q&A with the director, who was also the actor and writer, and it was very interesting hearing from them, and I realized that these people beside me, one of them was actually also a filmmaker, and I thought, oh, I should try and say hey and give them some sort of contact information so I can then we can, who knows, just what is it, building up contacts and making connections and all that. So that's very much in the media business. So I I don't know, I tried to get a moment with this person, but um I believe they were Ghanaian immigrants, or they were parents of people from Ghana. So I don't know. They have Ghanaian roots in some form, and the film was about um this Ghanaian immigrant and her mother dying, and her having to kind of pick up the pieces and kind of tackle her own roots and stuff. And it was very, very good. Obviously, they seemed to relate to it and found it very truthful and similar to their life. So obviously, it's effective in that form. But also, I was able to be taken into this world and understand it and sympathize and be shown it and you know um and anyway, I tried to get hold of this person, and they were talking to the director, and I actually ended up while trying to get sort of to talk to them, because eventually I was standing about waiting in the lobby. They were talking with the director and some other people I guess they knew, and this person also, I think, is or went to RCS, where I'm going. So I was like, shit, I should really. And I remembered, oh, I've seen them in a thing. I saw a documentary and they were in it. This mini kind of short thing, and so anyway, I kind of eventually I went, fuck it, I'm just gonna go stand about in their general vicinity, and something will happen. I ended up talking to the director, and the one thing I played back in my head is they went, oh hey, like I went, oh, you were in the filmmakers, because she went, who's a filmmaker? Put your hand up during the Q&A, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't. And I said something like, "Oh, kind of standing around these people," because I think at one or twice while I was I was just trying to listen. That's the thing, I was trying to listen in on what the director was saying. Um, one or two times I noticed that people were kind of looking like, "Who's this guy?" Also, I think I was the only guy there. Like, it was very much like sort of people of color slash women, and I don't know. I don't want to be a fucking like asshole. So I don't want to like interject myself into something that, in a way, the film is about womanhood and identity and race and culture, and I'm like, looking at myself like, that ain't me. I don't really have much of that going on. So, but anyway, I ended up talking to the director, and I remember going, oh, I was just standing back trying to listen in, because I don't know these people, and I think I really hung myself up on that phrase at the beginning. I kind of got over the fact, because I went after I spoke, and it was a very nice chat. I went and stood outside and tried to wait for these people to come outside. They never did. I eventually, just as the last hour, I walked back in to try and get a hold of them. They were still talking to the director. I was like, I just felt like I couldn't interrupt. I just walked right back out. And I think back on that moment because I know someone saw me do that, but it's like, who gives a fuck? And also I realized, oh, I left for a train. I could have stuck around for a few minutes, probably more. But again, does it really matter? So, um, yeah, I was just hung up on that in my head for some reason, and I felt like this awfully depressed about it during that day and consequent morning. And then at one point, I just kind of got over it. I just said to myself, like, what? Like, you talked to a director of an amazing film, and they spoke to you, and they said, good luck, and I don't know, it just, yeah. In the end, this isn't very thought out, but I just needed to kind of spell it somewhere. And saying it has helped me remember certain elements of it. But there was a certain point where I was just I think I just come out of the shower and I was just kind of still a bit annoyed, and I was kind of looking down on my feet, and I just was kind of like, and I just remember under my breath, I just went, it's almost as if I didn't say it, it just came at me, I just went, not that, I just went, I went, I'm a monkey. And I just died. I died laughing. Because, like, what the fuck? Why did I go, I'm a monkey? Or I'm a monkey. It's kind of weird, like, gravelly. I don't know why that happened. But it was, it really was one of those, like, pick me up moments where, like, you're in a fucking bad mood and your friend, like, makes a joke or some shit. Like, it really was that. And I don't know, man, that was funny. It was a really funny. I'm a monkey. It's because almost like it wasn't even like a very fully formed words. It almost came out like it just was from like the back of your friend. I'm a monkey. I'm a monkey. I don't know. Yeah, the first or second time was the right one. I'm not gonna get it again. You need like a recharge on the I'm a monkey, where you get it right again. But yeah, um, that's really it. That's the thing. It's like that's it. But I just keep playing it again in my head. The start of that conversation with the person. The fact I didn't, and there was something in my gut that was saying just go up to them. But there never was a moment. It was like 7 of them. They all knew each other, and the director was still there. And yes, I could have, but like, you know, I'm also like just not that great with like around talking to new people. Like I don't word things the best at times. So I don't know. It probably would have came off stupid anyway. No, it probably wouldn't have. But either in my head, I was like, "This is the you should do this, and if you want to get places, this is the mentality you have to have. You just have to go because like really, if you go up and you look like an asshole, or they don't give a fuck, or they're like, who are you, or they're a bit weirded out. It's like, who cares? These are like some random fucking people who could be involved in your life or help you somehow, or they could be no one. And either way, so it's like, at the very least, I shouldn't get hung up about it. But there was something in my stomach. You have that moment where I don't have it very often. I haven't been in these, but I've had it when I've went to fucking like, fucking ask someone out on a date or something where I'm like, I'm really not good at that shit. I don't like know what I'm doing with that. But where I have this feeling in my stomach where I'm like, and I don't know. I think anyway. I think it is anyway that it's a thing. You should do this, but you're worried about the consequences. And I'm annoyed that I didn't follow through, but also I think it wasn't that big a deal, and I just need to like move on. And I still spoke to an amazing director. Nana was her name. I don't know her last name off the top of my head, but Queen of Glory, amazing film. And yeah, I know that's a bit. Hopefully, I can put this to rest with a 10-minute fucking thing. It just really fucked me up in a weird way. I don't know, I have other stuff like that sometimes, like, or there are like little things in my head that I hear to this day from like when I was like 5. Just weird, like embarrassing moments, or like just a face. Someone made like a comment or a face, and it just fucking like never leaves your mind. Like, I hope I've never done that to someone, because like I'm sure the people that have done it to me, they were like fucking five as well or whatever, and didn't mean it. But like, fuck the face of disgust, the look of disgust that they made at me, that I have locked in my mind, is like, it's gross in a way. The fact that someone can do that to a person, can like have something so permanent, and it's like, to me to remember something that old, it must be like have some impact on me. And obviously, you just get random memories, and who knows what you forget. But yeah, the fact that I haven't forgotten that says a lot. Yeah. Though also, it's probably, I mean, when I think about it, it's mostly women, so it's probably also got some sort of correlation between sort of, yeah, I don't know, like sexuality and women and what do you call it? So that fear of embarrassment, like definitely of the opposite sex. You don't want to come across. I don't know, you don't want to be looked at disgust by the sex you're attracted to. But yeah, see, this is almost like sort of counseling. You just kind of, or for me, I just talk myself all the way to a conclusion. Somehow, somewhere, there's something. It might not even relate to the original thing, but I'm better than I was. And there is a small feeling, very small. I've had much bigger, but don't take that out of context. A very small weight has been lifted off my shoulders over something very trivial. But it's more not the situation itself, though. I think the thing about doing something that you know is the right thing to do, even if it feels a bit like it's more just like the fact it's plagued me in a weird way, and I get these things, and this hopefully is in the direction of not having that, or at least I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Goodbye.